Everybody look at my daughter. Isn't she beautiful today? Okay. I remember when Jean and I first brought our daughter home from the hospital. She seemed so tender. She was very attentive. You could cuddle her in your arms for hours. As a young child, she was sugar and spice and everything nice, extremely well behaved and never needed discipline. That's it. That daughter was our firstborn, not Lindsay. Lindsay was born 3 years later, was an entirely different story. Lindsay came into this world like a little whirling dervish. She was a bundle of energy going 110 miles an hour since day one. I think she was born wearing an athletic shirt and soccer cleats, much to Jean's discomfort. Think about that one? We didn't get the opportunity to hold Lindsay in our arms for too long, as she was always squirming to get away. Swaddling and cuddling her was like trying to nail Jell-O to the wall. She didn't crawl for too long and preferred to move straight into the walking and running phase, which kept Jean and I on our toes at all times. She was extremely energetic, seemed to possess superpowers. She could escape from any high chair or crib, never seemed to tire, and was oblivious to any attempts to discipline her. Timeouts were a joke to Lindsay. She used that time to plot her next devious move. I remember when Lindsay was a little knee-high, I used to call her over to me, and she would come running over to me, and I would put my hand on top of her head and feel around the top of her head, and she would say, "Dad, what are you doing?" And I say, "I'm just checking to see if your horns are coming in yet." Now that's a true story. And it provided hours and hours of entertainment because we would catch Lindsay walking around the house, feeling the top of her head, seeing if her horns were coming in. Well, in truth, Lindsay was not bad or devious. She was very loving, curious, eager to learn, very sociable. She would make friends within no time wherever we moved, whether it's school, in the neighborhood, or local sports teams. It was clear, though, that we had to channel Lindsay's energy towards sports, and I give full credit to my wife for signing up for and attending all of the athletic practices and events Lindsay attended over the years. She was a natural at swimming, softball, and soccer. She was and is athletic and very competitive. Outside of sports, she did have a normal childhood, and I got to enjoy typical father-daughter moments with her. For instance, when we lived in Coronado, she would ask me to take her over to the Navy SEAL training compound. And she would spend time on the obstacle course, climbing a 40-foot cargo net and crawling on her belly in the sand under barbed wire. Typical father-daughter stuff. Lindsay did have typical medical setbacks that other children have. For instance, due to ear infections, she had tubes put in her ears, had her adenoids taken out, then tubes put in her ears again when the originals fell out when she was running around. Then she underwent surgery to have complicated wisdom teeth removed. Then she had sinus surgery in California. Then she had sinus surgery in Florida. Then she had sinus surgery again in Florida. And she had her tonsils removed. Lindsay was always on the go, so she brought some of this pain upon herself. At 2 years old, she put her tooth through her lip during a face plant. She got better. She suffered a laceration to her head, falling shortly after her Nana told her to stop running around with her shoes untied. She blew out her eardrum and had it patched after she dove into a swimming pool. During her junior year, she broke her wrist and had a hairline fracture in her back. Her back damage was diagnosed 4 months after the injury when she went to the hospital. There, she underwent physical therapy, and her interest was sparked in the field of PT. And she, of course, went on to achieve a doctorate in physical therapy. So, as some of you know, most recently, she landed face first during a bicycle accident. That resulted in multiple facial fractures, stitches, a concussion, and more physical therapy. So I'm going to digress here a little bit, get off that. Carlos, as of today, it's your responsibility to do your best to keep Lindsay safe. So I officially pass that torch to you. Not a little torch. That's one less thing we have to worry about, all right? I would like to mention that Carlos is attending college and working towards a mechanical engineering degree, so I'm hoping I'm hoping he can design and fabricate some type of bubble system or force field to put around Lindsay to keep her safe. I understand how challenging it is to attend school while balancing work and a home life. I admire your drive to succeed, and I know how happy Lindsay is with you. And I'm proud to call you my son-in-law. All right, the difficult part, Lindsay. Raising you has been more rewarding than words can describe. Despite all of the previously mentioned lacerations, bruises, broken bones, concussions, you have grown to be such an amazingly beautiful and wonderful and smart young woman. Your mother and I both love you very much. Don't do that. Told you not to do that. All right. It's my understanding the father of the bride is supposed to offer some words of advice to the newlyweds, but both Carlos and Lindsay told me they already know everything, don't need any advice. So I'll just throw this out there to anybody, take it for what it's worth. My parting words of advice: marriage allows you to annoy that one special person for the rest of your life. So my advice is take advantage of that as much as you can. All right, everybody, if you please would join me in a toast, please lift your glasses. To the beautiful bride and groom, we all wish the best for you and toast to your enduring health, happiness, success as husband and wife. Cheers.